Hello everyone, I'm Nevertop. Welcome to my channel. Today I was drawing lies. That was last week or two. I was doing a little doodle and I posted it on Instagram. You might have seen it. It was a work in progress. I haven't actually finished it yet. It was a sketch of like a, well, it's this thing here. So it was a sketch of like a turnip being assembled as a robot, and it's like a huge turnip. So I've drawn in the past a mechanical octopus. So the mecha octopus or whatever I call it, and I wanted to draw sort of a vegetable version of it to add to the world, and it kind of looked a little bit good, a little bit more than I usually do. And usually I try not to put too many characters, too much time into the daily drawings because they're not going to be daily if they take too long. And this one was taking a bit too long. I had too many characters, too much detail, and I was thinking I really want to work on my technological drawing. Not good at that, so let's try that with this drawing. Let's make it a multi-day project. So this is day one of my turnip drawing. So we're going to do some line art today, and we're going to sort of see how to build up the mechanics of it and also explore a bit of the world building that goes on behind the scenes of this kind of a drawing. Now when you do any kind of drawing, you have to think about everything that goes into it. This drawing has this little worker construction guy, and it's a P, and he's got a little worker construction hat. Everything I put into this is going to reflect on the nature of the world around it. Like, what is the nature of the vegetable world? That's explored a bit in my books, the children's books that I've done, and I've tried to put details into it that sort of give you hints as to the technological level, the social level. Like, do the different species of vegetables get along? Yeah, they generally do. And in here, I'm kind of, for the first time, getting into how high of a technological, mechanical level do these vegetables have access to. So I'm building a crane. Now, a crane is something that's pretty big construction equipment. I actually had to pull up a reference for a crane because I'm not going to... I usually do just sort of mentally try to guess at what these things look like. But for a better result, you want to pull up a reference because these mechanical things are quite detailed. And I'm going to do it wrong if I try to do it off the top of my head. But I also want to tweak the details a bit because the vegetables are, I'm thinking, they're a bit of a mixed technological level. So they've got advanced technology. They got TVs and cell phones and stuff. But at the same time, you've also seen them with, rickety, I don't know, wooden things trolloping around. So this thing is going to be a normal looking kind of a crane, but it might have some not so modern accoutrements added onto it. And again, I'm not that good at doing mechanical drawings. I want to improve that, and you improve that through practice. So you can see here I've got a very oval looking rod that's keeping this thing going. And I don't think cranes use rods to rotate up and down like this. So whatever. And again, I'm intentionally trying to get some of the details wrong here so that you can say this is the vegetable's best attempt at a crane. Because the vegetables, remember, this is world building. This is their own world, separate from the human world. They don't have all the same knowledge that we do, and I have to operate on the basis that they came up with everything themselves, not this is a carbon copy of Earth, which a lot of stories do. You just take a normal Earth and slap centaurs in it. Everything else is the same, even Christmas and Easter. In this world, not so much. So they have to come up with everything themselves, and everything can be a bit unique. Every little design element, every little nail should reflect a bit of the world that it's coming from. How is it made? Like a nail and a screw, that suggests a screwdriver, but they don't have hands. So how do they operate that, and what kind of connections would they use? So here I'm having a bit of trouble with perspective. In Krita, which I'm using here, you can set up perspective lines so it gives you the vanishing points. And I've set those up, but I've discovered here that you can see the rod is, or the support beam is much narrower than I was hoping for, and not quite landing where I'd sketched it out. Whatever, got to deal with it. I'm going a bit off script there, building a support column. The support column was in the reference that I had. And I do want this mechanical drawing to be as accurate, as possible, not having things all wandering off left and right. So I am using my perspective lines to work on that. Now this drawing is, as with most people's perspective drawings, it's aligned on sort of the 90-degree axes. So things go perfectly off into the vanishing points. They're not rotated a little bit. In the future, I'd like to look at maybe things that are not rotated perfectly to the perspective grid, and we'll look at that in future, not today. So this one, I like how it's going. We've got these support beams. I don't know that those support beams would actually support the weight of this crane. Again, I don't think the vegetables are that safety conscious. So that's another aspect of the world. Why would they be safety conscious? Is there a lot of regulations in the world? Is there a big government that's keeping things under control? Or is it kind of loosey-goosey and you can just kind of throw up a crane that's very unsafe? This one seems to be. I was going to put ropes around it supporting that big heavy thing, but I think I've decided not to do that. Let's say I start to do it and then I abandon it. Oh, that's interesting. No, I give up, I think. Yeah, that was a bad plan. I was just trying to eyeball it, and it wasn't really working for me. Now we're going to drift off into the characters, and we see the little Ashley, the cranberry. She's got a scroll, which probably blueprints for the building. And we just zipped by briefly the mushrooms. Actually, before that, this guy has a little scanning device, and we don't know what that is. That looks like an EKG something from Ghostbusters. Fine, but that is reflective, again, of putting any little tiny thing, that little gadget, gives you a hint of the world around it. What is the technological level of the vegetables? And right there you saw there's a bizarre technological gadget. You don't know what it does. You don't know why he's scanning for ghosts or ectoplasm or whatever it is. But it's interesting, and it leads to a deeper story behind it. Like, why does he have that at a construction site? And do they have advanced rivet scanning or something that we don't have here today in our modern Earth? And why does the other guy just walking around with, or Ashley walking around with her blueprints on paper instead of a tablet? So you've got this weird difference of technologies, and there should be an explanation as to why the technologies are not consistent. It could be that the technologies were introduced to them suddenly and that they've adapted to it. Often modern China often has a lot of mix of, you see a donkey alongside a taxi cab, which can be quite interesting and it's questionably dangerous. Here I'm going to have a sort of a fence on this lift, and these little guys are probably going to get blocked out by that fencing, which we'll do later, because that's going to, I have an idea for how I want to do that. I do not want to draw a chain link fence by hand. That is going to take forever. I do think I will use Illustrator. So here I'm going to wrap it up. This is good enough for today. We've seen a few characters that have advanced technology that we can't really explain. We don't know why they have it. We also see them wearing stuff like hard hats, so they are safety conscious. They can be hurt. But we also see that they've got the crane and it's got kind of maybe not enough supports to keep it up, so there's not governmental regulations forcing them to do things safely. So things are not as well supervised. And you've got all these different species working together, so that it's a world that's very cohesive as far as their interspecies relations, which is nice. This is a friendly world, not a warlike separated world where they keep to themselves. But we're going to look into more world building next time. Thank you for sticking with me for this explanation of the world behind the Never.Vegetable people, and we'll try to get this tech mecha turnip thing drawn up and finished in future. See you next time. Hey guys, before we go, I just want to show you one little thing that I did for Comic-Con. I haven't put up for sale in the shop yet because they don't have boxes to ship it in. It's a shirt. I'm wearing it now, and it's a cute shirt. It builds into my world building here with the robot. And I did a robot one day in last Easter with Brontosaurus controlling it, and this is the same guy. Want to continue him. He's really cute. Somebody said it was great. So, did this shirt. See? It's got robot egg fighting tentacle egg. Theme? Eggs. They're cute. So I don't know what the get cracking thing is. I guess he's the cracking robot. He cracks all eggs he finds. And if you guys want to buy these shirts, let me know in the comments below, and I'll think about putting them on the shop. I also have 2 other designs I'll show you in the future videos. So until next time, see you later. Bye again. Thank you everybody for joining me in this video about world building and drawing mechanical things. It's a lot of fun to try this out, and experimentation is the seed of invention. I just made that up. It's probably not true. But do experiment with things, try it out. You can always undo or not save the file. Until next time, see ya.